Thank you, Ian. Yes, the latest reports that reach us, these are just reports. There's been no official announcement yet, but the latest reports do suggest that there is a deal that has been reached between the United Kingdom and the European Union, but this will still require ratification by the 27 EU countries, and the process could start as early as tomorrow, but of course it's too late for that ratification process before the 31st of December deadline, but a holding place agreement could still be put in place for that 1st of January deadline, and of course the EU countries and MEPs could still vote on it later on that month. How does this all affect Gibraltar? Well, we're going to find out, because standing here with me outside number 6 Convent Places, the Chief Minister, Fabian Picardo. Mr. Picardo, good evening. Thank you for joining us live on GBC television. There's a lot of anticipation, a lot of expectation that this UK-EU trade deal has been agreed. Has it, to your knowledge?
Well, I think that people will see very shortly what it is that emerges, and I think the important thing is that we understand that in relation to Gibraltar, we are still talking about being able to finalise arrangements which are specific for Gibraltar. That is, to an extent, good news too. We haven't declared that there is no deal in relation to Gibraltar. We've declared that we're continuing to try and reach an arrangement for Gibraltar.
If there is a deal between the United Kingdom and the European Union, but there isn't one regarding the future relationship between Gibraltar and the European Union, what happens then? Does the EU-UK deal apply to Gibraltar?
I think you need to break this down a little, and I think it's important that your viewers have this picture. It is at this stage the declaration that the negotiators have reached an understanding. There is now a text potentially which will be released by the government of the United Kingdom to the House of Commons for the House of Commons to vote on, and by the Commission to the Member States for the Member States to consider, and for the European Parliament to consider. The deal will not be completed until it is ratified. We are hoping to be able to have arrangements in relation to Gibraltar agreed in that time. And I sincerely hope that there is a deal for the United Kingdom and the European Union, because that will, I hope, also give momentum to the Gibraltar deal. We will all be happy to see that deal, and that will give us an opportunity of wanting to get into the slipstream of that deal if possible. And also, it will be economically positive for the United Kingdom, and what's economically positive for the United Kingdom is economically positive for Gibraltar.
Now, we know that you've stepped outside to talk to us right now, live on GBC television, but are you in those discussions right now?
Those discussions have been ongoing since the morning after the referendum, first bilaterally between the United Kingdom and Gibraltar, and then more multilaterally after we started the process first of withdrawal and now trying to agree a deal for the future relationship. They haven't stopped. I've said on a number of occasions in the past week that modern diplomacy is digital, so as you can imagine, the WhatsApps are going bananas tonight.
We only spoke to you 24 hours ago about this, but of course these days 24 hours is an even longer time in politics than it was before. Has anything moved forward in the last 24 hours? Have there been any progress made regarding the Gibraltar specific part of the deal?
There has been considerable movement, considerable discussion, there's been considerable thought, and we need that final push, that final imagination. I said on Cadena Ser, and then repeated to GBC, that I thought, and in fact I said to the Parliament as well, I thought we were a few phrases away from an agreement on Gibraltar. I now think that we are a few meters away from an agreement on Gibraltar.
And what would you say is the likelihood of that materialising in general and also in due course?
Whether you belong to one football club supporters group or another football club supporters group, the clubs that win the league are the clubs that win even after the final whistle should have gone. And I'm going to keep playing for Team Gibraltar even after the final whistle had gone, but I'm going to try and ensure that all those on the pitch with me try and win this match for every side at the same time. It's a devilishly difficult task. We've known that for some time, otherwise it would have been done before. And so we're going to try and go the extra mile to ensure it's done now.